Hi friends, happy Wednesday, happy devotion day. I'm getting a little bit later start this morning, getting this one out. This last 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks has been absolutely insane. Hubby has been on jury duty or grand jury duty, and he's got one more week to go, and it's just been it's made my schedule completely nuts, which has not made me happy, but we're doing what we have to do. For those of you that don't know, my husband suffered a traumatic brain injury in 2017 and suffers from PTSD, pretty severe. And so trying to deal with parking and all the things that go with going to jury duty, it's just easier if I pick him up, take him, drop him off, and then pick him up and take him back to work. So that has been my life the last 2.5 weeks, and we have another week and a half to go. So we're going to get into today's devotion. This one really spoke to me this morning. I really needed to hear this word. It's, I think it's something that we all struggle with, whether we're moms or we're wives, we're stay-at-home moms, whatever the case may be. I think we all struggle with this. So I'm going to read this to you guys. Our devotion this morning is out of 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 6. And it's funny, this devotion is titled Making Bread. So how appropriate is that? So let's get into today's devotion. So be humble under God's powerful hand, so he will lift you up when the right time comes. 1 Peter 5:6. When we reach the end of everything we know, that is when God rolls up his sleeves and does his best work in our lives. He waits until we are finished rolling our problems around like dough, pounding away until there is nothing left to be done. When we hand our mess over to him with humble and sticky fingers, he takes it all and transforms it into a kind of bread that nourishes us. There is a story about orphan children during World War II who were left homeless and starving. Once rescued, they had trouble sleeping at night out of fear that they would wake up in the morning and be hungry again. After all attempts were made to erase their fears, someone came up with the idea of giving each child a piece of bread to hold during the night. It worked. The children slept peacefully, holding their bread. We can take that a lesson from those children and hold our bread as a symbol that God is with us today, and he will be with us again tomorrow. The art of spiritual bread making requires a deep patience that allows obstacles to rest quietly covered in his grace so that they can rise into opportunities that give us strength. He works in miracles, turning even our most difficult ordeals into blessings that can heal us. And that is so true. That totally speaks to me, that how often do I hold on to fears? Do I hold on to things and I just keep dealing with them instead of just surrendering those, giving them to him and letting him do what he needs to do, letting God be God instead of me standing in the way and saying, okay, I'm going to keep trying to fix this one, even though it's not working. I'm going to keep trying to do this instead of just letting you do what you need to do and make it work out for my good, because that's what he does. He works everything out for the good of those that love him. And I love that in that scripture, that we just have to surrender those things. We have to let things go and not continue to hold on to them, not continue to decide when we're going to let him handle it. I all too often try to handle things on my own, and it never works out right. Let me tell you, friends, it always ends up causing more problems than it fixes when I try to just hold on to everything and try to do it my own way. We are not intended to do it that way. We are intended to, as his children, to surrender those things to him, to surrender our fears, to surrender our stresses, to surrender our problems, to surrender our joys. We're to surrender everything to him. And when we do that, he comes alongside us, he holds our hand, and he fixes all of these things that, had we continued to hold on to them, would have continued to be a bigger and bigger and bigger mess as time went on. And so I love that story of the orphans getting to hold onto that piece of bread. And I think for me, what I take away from that one is I suffer from anxiety. I've had anxiety for many, many, many years. It's been something that I struggled with for the longest time. And I always just allowed my head to get in that place and allowed that anxiety to just completely take over. And I've learned over the last couple of years, I've had some just incredible people in my church family that have come alongside me with me and walked through this anxiety and walked through fears and walked through all these things with me. And I now have a list of scriptures that I keep in my phone, in my notes, that are always there. I have a list of lyrics from specific songs that speak to that fear is not something that comes from God. God never gives us, he does not give us a spirit of fear. And he doesn't want us to be fearful. He doesn't want us to be afraid. And so when I feel that anxiety coming over me now, I can grab my phone and I can go to my notes and I can read those scriptures that reassures me that God is always there for me. And he doesn't want me to feel anxious. He doesn't want me to feel anxiety. He doesn't want me to be fearful. And that allows me to release those things back to him. And that has done wonders for my anxiety over the last couple of years to really help keep that under control and to keep it at bay. And so I love that scripture the story of the orphans finding it and holding onto that piece of bread at night so that they didn't have that fear of being hungry. And I think for us, we can find a scripture that maybe speaks to us, find a scripture that is our favorite scripture and use that as our spiritual bread. Use that Bible verse, use that worship song, use that whatever it is, use that as our spiritual security blanket. That to me is it just spoke to me. And I just loved that this morning. I thought that was such a great story. And it was such a great way for us to think about things and to think about how we don't have to carry those things around. He doesn't want us to. And so, friends, this was kind of a shorter one this morning. As I said, my day has been just crazy, and I finally am home for the rest of the day, at least until I leave for worship night tonight at church, and I need to get in the kitchen. I've got lots of things to get done, and so I wanted to just share that quick devotion with you guys this morning and give you a little bit of a word of encouragement. And if you're struggling with some things, if you're holding on to some things that maybe you just need to just finally release those things to God and let him take those things and let him do what he needs to do with those. Let him be God and let you just be who he wants you to be and not carry those things around, not carry the fear, not carry the burdens. Just really release those things to him. So friends, as always, I love you guys. I appreciate each one of you. If you guys have prayer needs, please leave those in the comments below, not the description box, the comments. Leave them in the comments below for me. I would be honored to pray for you guys. If you have something you'd like me to pray for, I do have a couple of you that I am still continuing to pray for that you have shared your prayer requests with me in the past. And we will continue to pray for those things until we get an answer. And so it's just something that we do. We just continue to bring those requests before him, and we continue to pray over those, and we will. And so if you have prayer requests, please share those with me, friends. I would be honored to pray for you guys. I hope you guys have a blessed day. I'm going to go get in the kitchen and get some cooking done so that I can go to church tonight and I can enter into worship with a good headspace and walk in there and just really worship God tonight. And I'm excited about that. So we will talk to you guys soon. Don't miss the Friday's video. You guys are going to love this one. This is exciting video coming out. And we'll talk to you guys in the comments below, friends. Have a great day and God bless.